Over 60? For worst vitamins you should never take and 4 you must take daily. Curious, have you ever been told that taking vitamins daily is the key to staying strong and healthy as you age? Here's the problem. Not every vitamin that's sold as good for you is actually safe for seniors. In fact, some of the most common ones can backfire, making you feel weaker, stressing your liver and kidneys, and even raising your risk of health problems. Size. Our bodies after 60 just don't process things the way they used to. That means too much of the wrong supplement can build up and turn toxic instead of helpful. In this video, I'll share with you the 4 vitamins you should avoid after 60 and also 4 that can truly support your health, strength, and energy. So, stick with me until the end because this could help you prevent mistakes that many seniors unknowingly make. And if you find value here, don't forget to hit like, subscribe for more senior health tips, and drop a comment to let me know what supplements you take daily. Now, let's start with the first group, the vitamins you should avoid. Worst number 1, vitamin A, the retinol trap. One of the first vitamin seniors over 60 should be incredibly careful with his vitamin A, specifically the form called retinol, which is found in almost every popular multivitamin. Now, I understand why my patients take it. Thoughtful, you have been told your whole life that vitamin A protects your eyesight and keeps your immune system strong. But here is the clinical truth about how an aging body works. Vitamins fall into 2 categories, water-soluble and fat-soluble. When you take a water-soluble vitamin, like vitamin C, your body uses what it needs, and your kidneys easily flush the rest down the toilet. But vitamin A is fat-soluble. Concerned, your body cannot easily flush it out. After the age of 60, your liver's filtration rate naturally slows down. When you take daily retinol pills, that extra vitamin A doesn't leave your body. It gets trapped and builds up inside your liver and fat tissues. Over time, this creates a condition called hypervitaminosis A, a silent toxicity. But here is the most shocking part that supplement companies do not tell you. Seniors take vitamins to stay strong, right? Clinical studies now show that excess retinol actually overstimulates the cells in your body that break down bone tissue, called osteoclasts. Seniors who take too much vitamin A from supplements actually have significantly weaker bones and are at a much higher risk of suffering a devastating hip fracture. You are actively destroying the very bones you are trying to protect. The solution is simple. Look at your multivitamin bottle right now. If it says vitamin A as retinol, throw it in the trash. Instead, get your vitamin A from beta-carotene, the natural plant version found in sweet potatoes, carrots, and spinach. The beauty of beta-carotene is that your body only converts exactly what it needs, and the rest passes through harmlessly. Worst number 2, iron supplements, the internal rust. This brings us to the second supplement you must avoid, and this one is often taken out of pure desperation. I am talking about iron. I cannot tell you how many patients come into my clinic feeling fatigued and exhausted. They immediately assume they are anemic, so they go to the pharmacy and buy high-dose iron pills, hoping for a quick energy boost. For someone in their 30s, iron provides energy. For a man or woman over 60, blind iron supplementation is a biological hazard. Here is the medical reality. Iron is a heavy metal. Younger women lose iron monthly, and growing children use it to build tissues. But after menopause, women no longer lose blood, and men over 60 generally have very stable, locked-in iron levels. Because you are not actively losing iron, every extra milligram you swallow from a pill has nowhere to go. It begins to accumulate in your major organs, your liver, your heart, and your pancreas. Doctors call this iron overload. But what does excess iron actually do inside your body? Think of a piece of metal left out in the rain. It rusts. That is exactly what happens inside your cells. Excess iron causes severe oxidative stress. It literally acts like internal rust, creating massive amounts of free radicals that damage your tissues, stiffen your heart muscle, and destroy your cellular energy factories. Even more terrifying, recent neurological studies have linked excess iron accumulation in the brain to a much higher risk of Alzheimer's disease and severe memory decline. By taking iron for energy, you could be accelerating the aging of your brain. Unless your doctor has run a specific blood test called a ferritin panel and explicitly diagnosed you with an iron deficiency, you should never take an iron supplement. You get more than enough iron naturally from eggs, beans, and leafy greens. Do not turn an energy-seeking habit into a silent health threat. Now, those are 2 supplements to avoid, but the next one is perhaps the biggest medical misconception of the last 50 years. Let's talk about the pill millions of you take to protect your bones, but which is actually destroying your heart. Worst number 3, isolated calcium supplements, the artery hardener. This brings us to the 3rd vitamin mistake, and it is arguably the most dangerous medical misconception of the last 50 years. Serious. I am talking about the massive, chalky calcium pills that fill the cabinets of almost every man and woman over the age of 60. I know exactly why you take them. For decades, doctors and commercials have told you that swallowing pure calcium is the only way to prevent osteoporosis and keep your bones from snapping. But clinical cardiology has uncovered a terrifying truth. Taking calcium by itself is a recipe for cardiovascular disaster. Here is the biological reality. When you swallow a high-dose calcium pill, it floods your bloodstream. But calcium is incredibly dumb. Sarcastic, it doesn't automatically know it is supposed to go to your bones. It needs biological instructions. Without the right partner nutrients, specifically vitamin D3 and vitamin K2, calcium acts like a car with no driver. Instead of being driven into your skeleton to build bone density, that excess calcium wanders aimlessly through your bloodstream and eventually settles into the soft tissues of your body, primarily your arteries. Cardiologists call this arterial calcification. You are literally cementing your own blood vessels from the inside out. Your arteries, which should be flexible and elastic to pump blood, become stiff and rigid. Over time, this calcium buildup creates plaques that block blood flow, drastically raising your risk of severe high blood pressure, a sudden heart attack, or a debilitating stroke. You think you are protecting your hips, but you are actually hardening your heart. If you want to protect your bones safely, you must get your calcium from natural food sources, like high-quality dairy, dark leafy greens, and beans, where it is packaged with the cofactors your body needs. If your doctor insists on a supplement, it must be a formula that pairs calcium with vitamin K2, the traffic cop that directs calcium away from the heart and into the bone, and magnesium. Never take calcium alone. Worst number 4. High-dose vitamin B6. The nerve damager, the 4th supplement you must avoid, is often hidden inside energy-boosting formulas or massive mega B-complex vitamins. It is vitamin B6. Many seniors assume that because B vitamins are water-soluble, you can take as much as you want and just pee out the rest. While that is mostly true for vitamin C, it is a dangerous assumption for vitamin B6. As you cross your 60th birthday, your renal system, your kidneys, simply do not filter high-dose synthetic vitamins as quickly as they used to. When you take these massive megadoses of B6 every single day, the vitamin begins to pool in your bloodstream and eventually becomes toxic to your nervous system. It causes a condition called peripheral neuropathy. I had a patient named Susan, a 71-year-old who came to me terrified. She was experiencing a constant burning sensation in her calves, severe tingling in her fingers, and a terrifying numbness in her toes. She was losing her balance and thought she was developing a severe neurological disease. When I looked at her supplement list, she was taking a senior energy booster that contained over 5,000% of the daily recommended dose of vitamin B6. She was slowly poisoning her own nerve endings. The tragic part is that many seniors mistake these exact symptoms for just getting older. They think the numbness and balance issues are just part of aging, so they never connect it to the vitamin they swallow every morning. Once Susan stopped the megadose B6, her nerves began to heal, and within 3 months, her balance returned. Healthy aging is never about piling on massive doses of synthetic vitamins. Your body needs precision, not overwhelming volume. Now that we have cleaned out the toxins from your medicine cabinet, it is time to rebuild. Let's look at the 4 vitality nutrients that your aging body is actually begging for. Now that we have cleaned the biological hazards out of your medicine cabinet, it is time to rebuild. Encouraging. Your body after 60 is incredibly responsive, provided you give it the exact biological tools it is begging for. These next four vitality nutrients are not just optional health boosters, they are the foundation of your independence. Let's start with the absolute most overlooked mineral in senior health. Must-take number 1, magnesium, the biological relaxant. Curious, if you ever wake up in the middle of the night with a vicious cramp in your calf, or if you feel like your muscles are constantly stiff and your balance is slightly shaky, you are likely suffering from a severe magnesium deficiency. In my clinic, magnesium gets a front row seat. Think of calcium as the mineral that makes your muscles contract and tense up. Magnesium is the exact opposite. It is your body's master biological relaxant. It tells your muscle fibers to let go. It tells your blood vessels to open up and lower your blood pressure. It even calms your nervous system so you can fall into a deep, restorative sleep. But here is the hidden trap for anyone over 60. Even if you eat magnesium-rich foods like spinach or pumpkin seeds, you are likely losing it faster than you can absorb it. Why? Because of your daily medications. Millions of seniors take diuretics, water pills for high blood pressure, or acid blockers for heartburn. These medications literally flush magnesium out of your kidneys and block its absorption in your gut. You are being drained of your body's natural relaxant every single day. When my patient Thomas, a 68-year-old with chronic tight hamstrings and terrible sleep, started taking a high-quality magnesium glycinate supplement before bed, the results were almost immediate. Within a week, his night cramps vanished, his resting heart rate steadied, and he slept through the night for the first time in years. Magnesium doesn't just stop the pain, it protects your heart from dangerous arrhythmias. If there is one mineral you add to your evening routine, make it magnesium. Must-take number 2, vitamin D3, the survival hormone. Our second must-take nutrient is often called the sunshine vitamin, but clinically speaking, vitamin D3 is actually a powerful survival hormone. When you were 30, you could walk outside in the sun for 20 minutes and your skin would manufacture all the vitamin D your immune system needed. But as your skin ages, it becomes remarkably inefficient at this process. By the time you are 65, your skin's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight drops by over 50%. You are living in a constant state of biological winter. Why is this so dangerous? Because vitamin D3 is the gatekeeper for your bones and your muscles. Remember how we talked about the dangers of taking isolated calcium? Well, without adequate vitamin D3, your gut cannot even absorb the calcium from the healthy food you eat. But it goes far beyond bone density. In geriatrics, our number one fear is a patient falling. Clinical studies have proven that vitamin D3 directly binds to receptors in your muscle tissue, specifically the fast-twitch muscle fibers that catch you when you stumble. A severe deficiency in D3 leads to profound muscle weakness and a drastically higher risk of falling and fracturing a hip. Furthermore, vitamin D3 is the conductor of your immune system. It regulates the white blood cells that protect you from severe respiratory infections. It is nearly impossible to get enough D3 from food alone. Every person over 60 needs to have their doctor run a simple 25-hydroxyvitamin D blood test. Once you know your levels, supplementing with a high-quality D3, ideally paired with vitamin K2 to ensure the calcium goes to your bones and not your heart, is one of the cheapest, most effective ways to guarantee you stay strong, upright, and out of the hospital. Now, we have relaxed your muscles and fortified your bones. But what about your brain, your memory, and your joints? Let's look at the final 2 vitality nutrients that will protect your mind and keep you moving pain-free. Must-take number 3, vitamin B12, the brain and nerve shield. If you have been feeling unusually fatigued, experiencing a brain fog that makes it hard to remember names, or noticing a strange tingling in your hands and feet, you might think it is just the inevitable decline of aging. It's not. In my clinic, I immediately test for a severe vitamin B12 deficiency. Here is the clinical tragedy of B12. You could be eating a steak or eggs every single day and still be completely deficient. Why? Because B12 absorption is a highly complex biological process. To absorb the B12 from your food, your stomach must produce strong stomach acid and a specific protein called intrinsic factor. It acts like a biological key that unlocks the vitamin so it can enter your bloodstream. But as you cross 60, your stomach simply stops producing enough of both. If you take an antacid or a heartburn medication, you are shutting down that absorption completely. The B12 is in your food, but the door is locked. Without B12, the protective coating around your nerves, called the myelin sheath, begins to break down. Your brain literally shrinks faster, and severe deficiency can perfectly mimic the early stages of dementia or Alzheimer's. I had a patient named Margaret, 74 years old, who was brought in by her daughter because she was forgetting conversations and losing her balance. She thought it was the end of her independence. We discovered her B12 levels were dangerously low. Once we started her on a highly absorbable sublingual B12 supplement, a tablet that dissolves under the tongue, bypassing the stomach entirely and going straight into the bloodstream, her dementia vanished in 6 weeks. Her memory sharpened, and her energy returned. B12 is non-negotiable for a healthy aging brain. Must take number 4, omega, 3 EPA and DHA, the biological lubricant. Finally, we reach the ultimate vitality nutrient for your heart and your joints, high-quality omega, 3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. Think of your joints as the hinges on a door. After 60 years of movement, the cartilage wears down, the synovial fluid dries up, and the hinge starts to grind and rust. That grinding causes systemic inflammation, leaving you stiff and in pain every morning. Taking an ibuprofen just masks the pain, but omega-3 actually physically alters the chemistry of your joints. EPA and DHA are powerful biological lubricants. When you take a high-quality omega-3 supplement, ideally from wild-caught fish oil or krill oil, those fatty acids weave themselves into your cellular membranes. They act like fresh oil in a rusty engine, signaling your body to turn off the inflammatory fire in your knees, hips, and shoulders. Beyond your joints, omega-3s are cardioprotective. They keep your blood platelets from clumping together, reducing the risk of a dangerous clot, and they help clear out the triglycerides that clog your arteries. If you want to keep walking, keep moving, and keep your heart pumping strongly, you must fuel your body with EPA and DHA daily. We have covered a massive amount of clinical science today. You now know that blind supplementation is a dangerous game. You must stop poisoning your liver with retinol, rusting your organs with iron, hardening your arteries with isolated calcium, and damaging your nerves with megadose B6. Instead, you need to fuel your vitality with magnesium to relax your body, vitamin D3 to fortify your bones, sublingual B12 to protect your brain, and omega-3s to lubricate your joints. Here is your clinical action plan for today. I want you to go into your bathroom or kitchen cabinet right now. Pull out every single vitamin bottle you take and read the back label. If you see the 4 dangerous vitamins we talked about in high doses, you need to have a serious conversation with your doctor about safely removing them from your routine. Are you ready to stop guessing and start giving your body exactly what it needs? I want you to make your vitality pledge right now. Type the words, "I am taking control of my health," in the comments below. And while you are there, tell me, which of the 4 worst vitamins did you find hiding in your medicine cabinet today? Was it the calcium, the iron, or that massive B-complex? I read every single comment, and I want to know what you discovered. But do not get comfortable just yet. While we have fixed your supplement routine today, what you eat for breakfast tomorrow morning might be silently destroying the cartilage in your knees. In my next video, I am revealing the 3 healthy morning foods that actively destroy joint cartilage and the one simple swap you can make to stop knee pain in its tracks. You do not want to miss this clinical breakdown. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you are notified the second it goes live. I am Dr. Anya. You have the power to stay sharp, stay strong, and stay independent. I will see you in the next video.